All right, I might be the old guy in this conversation, but I have an advanced business degree in marketing, a Harley in the garage, and a message for the motor company. Harley, if you actually want to stay alive and reach the next generation of riders, you're going to want to hear this. I've been riding for decades, and like a lot of people my age, Harley-Davidson was the bike. It was the dream. You wanted it. I had Harley-Davidson shirts when I was a little kid. But here's the problem. We're not getting any younger. And younger riders, they're not dreaming of Harleys the way that we did. Younger riders, they're going faster. They're going lighter. They're going electric. They're going anywhere but the dealership. And I don't want to see them fade into nostalgia like Blockbuster or Sears. So here's what they need to do from a guy who has ridden the open road and the corporate world. Number one, build bikes that fit younger lives. Harley's DNA is power, style, soul. We all love the Harley culture. There's a reason why I have 1 million Harley t-shirts and the Harley posters and the Harley boots. I drank the Kool-Aid like the rest of you, and I love it. And I don't want to see that culture change. So hear me out on this. I'm not here to say that Harley needs to change its culture for us old guys who love these big cruisers and touring bikes. That's not what I'm saying here at all. There's just ways to reach a younger crowd. I have 7 kids, ages 32 down to 18. And they all love motorcycles, but none of them have a Harley. Younger riders, they want lighter bikes. They want faster bikes. They want city-ready riding, urban type bikes. Let's be honest. I'm being perfectly honest. I don't like riding this bike through Atlanta. Whenever I go into Atlanta, I would love to have me a Grom. Honestly, I'd love a Breakout or a Fat Boy. These big touring bikes, they're not made for city riding. They're made for going across country. Yeah, they look cool, but these younger riders, they want something light, nimble, easy to park, easy to maneuver, and city ready. Harley needs something like the Street 500. For those of you who remember the Street 500, I'll drop a picture of it right here. Or the new Nightster, the Sportster S. Those are a start in the right direction, but they need to do those bikes right. Keep the styling, lose the weight, make them more tech friendly. And this is the big one, make them affordable. A $10,000 bike is not an entry bike. I'm sorry, Harley. We just don't have the money for a $10,000 entry bike. Young people aren't going to spend that kind of money. Number 2, rebrand the lifestyle. Now, I know what a lot of you old guys like me are saying. Oh my God, no, Harley doesn't need to rebrand anything. They do. Harley needs to rebrand for younger riders. Now, I'm not saying get rid of the culture for us old guys. I'm not saying get rid of these bikes. I'm not saying anything about that. There's a reason why we love these bikes, and keep that culture alive and keep it going. Younger riders could care less. Now, I will give Harley credit where credit is due. They have started partnering with younger content creators like Lost Lauren. And I'm going to put some of her videos here. If you've not seen her content, she is a sport bike rider in Florida. And recently, Harley gave her a bike to go from the southern tip of Florida and ride it solo all the way to San Diego on a Harley. She wasn't comfortable on a Harley at first. But by the time she was done, she was awesome. And I'm going to credit Harley. They need to do more of that. They need to partner with these younger riders and creators who ride, because that is who younger people are listening to. So do that, Harley, but do more of it. Harley needs less polished ad campaigns. They need more grassroots, young content creator, development type marketing strategies. Today's younger crowd, they want real riders, real stories, real culture, less marketing like it's 2005. They want purpose, not chrome. Number 3, make it easy to start. Back when I was a kid, you just figured it out. We didn't have Google. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have, how-to guides or anything like that. We just figured it out. Perfect example. When I was a kid, I didn't know how to swim. And on a trip to Las Vegas, Nevada one time, my dad says, "You don't know how to swim?" Grabbed me and threw me into the pool. I figured out real quick how to swim. That's our generation. I'm Gen Xer. That's our generation. We just figure it out. This generation, they want guidance. They want financing. They want solutions. They want gear. They want training. Harley could start a full start to ride program. Just an idea. This is episode 1 of this series that we're doing. Just quick commercial. Keep watching because this is episode 1. I have other where we're going to talk more about sport bikes and Harley-Davidson. That is going to be, I can't wait for the comments on that one. That one's going to be fun. Harley could offer a full start to ride package. Bike, helmet, safety classes, finance it all, and first service. These kids are used to buying a brand new car where, their oil changes and things are done for them, for the first so many miles. In that safety course, even go as far as like doing a maintenance course for them, saying, "Hey, here's how you just maintain your bike." Get a full start to ride, start to finish. They come in, they want to buy a bike, they're getting gear, they're getting a bike, they're getting training, they're getting maintenance, all for one low monthly payment. Let's just say $300, $350. You get a small bike, all the gear, riding courses, first service, something like that makes it to where young riders are like, "Oh, I can go down to the Harley dealership and get everything I need." That's how you hook a generation that is already drowning in student loan debt, among other debts. Number 3, I love this brand. I want to see it evolve, not disappear. Now, don't hear me say that Harley's going anywhere anytime soon. They're not. I'm not here to say Harley's on its last leg and in its deathbed. Some people out there, I've seen the videos, some people out there definitely think that. Definitely have that opinion that Harley is doomed and it's going. I'm not saying that. Harley's going to be just fine. Do they have issues? Absolutely. Most motorcycle companies have issues right now. K&M motorcycles probably not going to survive their bankruptcy. And if they do, they're not going to be the same K&M motorcycle company they were before because a new company is going to own them. If Harley wants to survive, we have to reach the younger riders and then age up with them until they are old enough to want to tour the country on one of these big beasts. Once you age with them, if you get them when they're young, they'll stay with you when you're old because Harley's culture is stronger than any bike culture out there. I don't know another bike company that has such a devout following as Harley-Davidson. If today, Junior, comment below. I would love to hear it because I just right off the top of my head, I can't think of another company that people just rally around like Harley-Davidson. Harley needs to not chase trends. They need to lead again. And Harley-Davidson, I know you have it in you to lead again. Get out there and do something new and different and exciting. Young riders want freedom. They want adventure. They just can't afford to do it on a Harley. And younger riders, they do want freedom. They do want adventure. They do want meaning. They do want to be part of a bigger culture. Harley just has to meet them halfway. Give them a reason to ride, and they'll ride for life. And I know what you're thinking, but Rev, Harley tried this with the Buell brand. They tried it with the Street 500. They're trying it now with the Nightster and the Sportster S. No, they're not. They're still heavy, clunky, expensive bikes. They're not entry-level bikes. They're not urban riding bikes. And don't even get me started with the Livewire. You know, I'm not saying get rid of electric bikes. I'm never going to buy an electric bike. 99.9% of you are not going to buy an electric bike. But I tell you who would. I have 6 daughters and 1 son. I have a daughter-in-law and a new grandson. Most of my kids would buy an electric bike if it was affordable. They just would. I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. It just is what it is. And going back to the Buell argument, Harley did not market that correctly. They marketed it to Harley riders who turned their noses up at it and said Harley is a sellout and they need to get back in touch with their riders. And nobody asked you to buy a Buell. Harley needed to market that to the 20-year-olds. 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds, hell, even the 30-year-olds who wanted to go faster. But again, Buell was more expensive than a Yamaha or a Honda or a Suzuki because Harley tends to think they don't stink and makes everything way overpriced. All right, I'll get off that soapbox. We're going to talk about in the next episode sport bikes and Harley-Davidson and what I think about sport bikes and Harley-Davidson and how Harley could get into the sport bike scene without sacrificing the culture that we all love. If you don't want a sport bike, don't buy a sport bike. If your company wants to sell sport bikes and cruisers and touring bikes, guess what? You get to buy what you want. You do. Don't get pissed off because Harley-Davidson's selling a sport bike or something like the Grom or something more like a Shadow or the Yamaha MT series. Don't get pissed off saying, oh, Harley's a sellout. No, they're not. They're trying to get younger riders who will eventually grow into one of these. They will eventually want to tour America. They'll have time. Their kids will be grown and gone. They will be retired and they will want to tour America. And they're not going to do it on a small sport bike or an urban commuter bike. They will go up into these big bikes because they're just more comfortable to go on long trips on. They'll do it. You just have to let them grow into the brand with you. And you Harley riders out there that get all pissed off every time Harley tries something new and different, stop it. Nobody asked you to buy it. Nobody asked you to go out. For those of you who are sitting there saying, Harley's a sellout and they're out of touch with their clientele. No, they're not. They're still making these bikes. They are still catering to our culture, our aging old asses that just want to go hang out at the dealership and drink coffee and shoot the breeze with everybody. They're not going to stop doing that. But they do need to start getting younger people interested, and it ain't going to be with the Sportster and the Nightster. So stay tuned for the next episode where we're going to talk about Buell, sport bikes, and Harley-Davidson. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, hit that subscribe button, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Harley's future. And you can't deny that if you go to any Harley dealership, the average age in there, I guarantee you, is going to be in the upper 40s, lower 50s. Guarantee it. Ask any Harley dealership the average age, and they're going to say it's old guys. So, Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Tell me how you think Harley-Davidson can save itself and get a younger crowd interested. Until next time, keep a rubber side down